Throwaway shortened for character count. For context, I have been married to my husband for just over 20 years. We started dating when my stepkids were 5 and 3. Our kids are Adam, 28, stepkid. Number 1, Ben, 26, stepkid number 2, Charles, 20, David, 17, and Ellie, 13. Adam is getting married at the end of summer to his fiancé, Alice, 27. We have all been very excited for them. All of the kids have roles for the wedding. Charles is the best man. The other 2 boys are groomsmen, and Ellie is a junior bridesmaid. Last weekend, we had a dinner for my husband's birthday. All of the kids attended along with Alice. The topic of the wedding came up again, and this is where it started to go downhill. Ellie brought up that she was so excited to go dress shopping and that we planned to go to a bigger city in a few weeks to get her a dress and me a stepmom of the groom's dress. At that, Alice looked at Adam sideways and responded that we only needed to worry about one dress. Ellie kind of laughed and said, "What are you expecting Mom to wear, a suit?" Alice responded with, "My name isn't going. You know, we are keeping our guest list very limited to only family and a few close friends." What Adam and Alice have been to our house numerous times for holidays, dinners just to say hi. Since they've been engaged, this has never been brought up. Pretty quickly, things escalated. The Cliff Notes version is that Charles asked them to clarify if they were choosing to uninvite me now, or if I was never invited. Alice confirmed the latter. Why Adam said it's because I'm not his mom. Charles, David, and Ellie argued with Adam and Alice that none of them were going to go if I wasn't invited. That it was cruel to leave me out, given I've been his parent for a majority of his life and loved him like my own. My husband and I admittedly sat there for a minute, just damn shocked. Adam finally turned to my husband and said, well, my husband told him he wouldn't be going either. Adam then turned to me and asked if I was really going to let everyone ruin his wedding on my behalf. Here's where I might be the asshole. I just laughed. I don't know what came over me, but the entire thing was just so ridiculous that laughing was the only thing I could get out. I told my husband I'd be waiting in the car and left. And then promptly bawled my eyes out. Anyways, Charles, David, and Ellie are not talking to Adam. Adam called my husband yesterday to try and smooth things over. He was still adamant I'm not invited. And it's their wedding. He also requested I apologize for laughing at him. My husband told him tough crap. It's their wedding and they can invite whoever they want. But they can't control who will actually go. He said they owe me an apology and that Adam should be ashamed of himself. I'm getting texts now, asking what the hell I did and why I'm being a stepmonster and ruining the wedding. Am I the a-hole? Some comments, commenter. I feel like there's a lot missing here. You've been married to his dad since he was 8. That was years of elementary, middle high school, and college, 20 years. Is his mother living? Did his fiancé influence him? Just seems odd to not invite his dad's wife of 20 years and call her not family. I don't think you're the a-hole, but I just want to know more about the past 20 years. Original poster replied, I am sorry, I had to cut out a lot for the character count to post. When Adam called, my husband did ask him if I had done anything, if it was related to bio-mom. She has never gotten along with us if I had overstepped in any way. Adam says, no, it's just they want family. Only stepdad is invited as far as we know. I was a stay-at-home mom for most of my stepkids' childhood, and we had 50-50. My husband has always worked a lot, but has been as involved as possible. The house and child rearing mostly fell to me. Though I love our kids to pieces, I thought we had made it clear from the beginning that I was another parent that loves them. Not a replacement mom. We've never had any issues. And I thought up until now that we were particularly close. Our communication has slowed since he met Alice, but he was calling me about once or twice a week. Prior to this, Alice and I have gone shopping on occasion, gotten lunch. I even went with her to the florist for the wedding, because her mom wasn't available. And Adam got called into work. There has to be someone causing an issue. And my husband and I are baffled. Commenter, is his mom invited? Original poster replied, yes, as far as we've heard, stepdad is also invited. My husband and I have never gotten along with mom, but still play nice. as we still have 50-50 of younger stepson Ben Adam, and his mom had a falling out a few years ago, as she was starting to treat him the way she's always treated husband. And that is poorly. I don't know how to nicely explain other than she's a narcissist. Adam hasn't wanted to talk about it much, and we won't push it. I know they still talk and visit still. But how close they are, I have no idea. Custody of Ben at 26. Yes, he is disabled. He can choose where he is staying as he likes, but mostly sticks to a 50-50 schedule. Still, unless there is a family event or vacation, he is pretty independent but not able to live on his own. Guardianship is probably a better work for what we have now instead of custody. Commenter. Absolutely not the a-hole. Assuming you and Adam have gotten along fine until now, it's absolutely wild that they wouldn't invite you. Only family and a few close friends when a step-parent literally counts as family, and the nerve to accuse you of ruining his wedding. I don't blame you for laughing. Original poster replied, "It's probably also relevant, but my husband's parents are long since deceased. My parents, Dad, stepmom, and mom have been very involved with all of the kids since they were little. They are also not going, since if I am not family, they aren't either. My brother and sister-in-law, their daughter, my cousin, they call him uncle, and several of my other family members that have been around since stepkids were little have also dropped. They are up to like 20 people. They have rescinded their yes RSVP for a wedding of maybe 60 people." Commenter. Wait. Hold up, your family was invited but not you. Then what the hell did Adam expect when it came out you're not invited? Original poster responded, "That's my family's take. Why are they invited? But I'm not. They aren't related to my stepkids by blood either, but are apparently family. To be fair, my family is larger than my husband's. Stepdads and bio-moms. My stepkids were the first grandkids on my side. They were not with bio-mom and dad's families and were absolutely spoiled rotten. Growing up, Charles is now supposed to meet Adam for coffee over the weekend. I've warned him that truly. I don't think it's coming from Adam and to try to calm about it." Commenter. What is the nature of your relationship with Adam? Is his mother in the picture? Could his fiancé be in his ear? Original poster responded, "I thought we were particularly close, besides the normal teenager. I don't have to listen to you crap phase. We have never fought. We've always had him and Ben 50-50 as a teen, and he's butted heads with his mother. There have been times over the years where Adam had come to my husband and I and asked questions from things his mom has said, but we've always been forthcoming with InfoX. Of that is that his mom called me a homewrecker. This upset Adam. Adam came pissed at us. Explained that no bio, mom and dad were long since broken up, and mom even had a fiancé who was not current. Stepdad when I met dad. Pulled receipts. Adam is upset with mom. Blew over and on to the next thing. We still deal with bio mom though, and I do have a hard time believing she'd pull something at this point. Alice and I aren't super close, but I thought, had a good relationship, I have always tried to include her. Sometimes she takes up my offer, and sometimes she doesn't. I know she sees bio mom quite a bit. And that side of Adam's family too. She was raised by her grandparents and does not talk about bio parents often. Commenter. How did Ben react to this? At this point, I probably would not go to the wedding and would block his and his future wife. They would have to grovel in order to go. They made it clear they don't see you as family, so you don't need to do anything for them going forward. Original poster responded. Ben was very upset and confused. He is autistic. So what exactly the argument about doesn't quite click. But he's mostly upset. Adam says I'm not their parent and his siblings are all fighting. We've sat him down since and explained that I love him dearly and will never go anywhere. All of us love Adam and are just hurt, and that he himself can choose to go to the wedding. Or not. He doesn't have to choose sides, and we will still love him if he goes. Honestly, he probably will. He loves cake and dancing lol. He seems to be doing just fine since he hasn't asked about Adam, but will go to his mom's tomorrow and probably see him there. More info on everyone's relationships. It was hard to include every bit of context in the post because of the character limit, but I quit my job when Charles was 6 months old. Adam would have been 8, almost 9. No affair, I met my husband when he'd been divorced for over a year. Bio mom was engaged to someone else. If you ask their bio mom, she'll say, I've always overstepped. If you ask her how, she'll give examples like, I went to school events. So did stepdad. I helped with homework. I spent too much time with them. She would thank me for loving her kids so much and then turn around and berate my husband for me. Loving kids that aren't hers too much. Another example is that in the beginning, she wanted to communicate with me directly more. Said she loved the communication and that I was easier to deal with than my husband. Next argument with my husband, she brought up that I was weird and too involved, and she shouldn't have to talk to me whatsoever. I haven't talked to her since. Periodically, she has brought up that I was easier to talk to, and she doesn't understand why communication just has to go through my husband. After several years of trying to appease her, we quit to just focus on keeping our family happy and supported. It's been 23 years now of dealing with her. I've been to therapy multiple times to resolve whatever issues she says I have. It did help with strategies to deal with her. Truly, it's just that she has mental issues. Their dad did work a lot. He has always been on nights. It's changed slightly over the years, but we had stepkids. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every other Monday. His days off have always fell over those days so he can spend the max amount of time with them. But usually he worked 1 to 2 of those nights. Very rarely would he work. Overtime on days. We had my stepkids usually on days we didn't. We still currently try to do dates on days when Ben is not with us. I hope that makes sense and clears up some questions for you. Commenter. Are Alice's parents still together? Has she assumed you're some kind of evil stepmother? Does she have a bad relationship with her stepmom and doesn't want to invite her? Original poster responded, her mom and dad are her grandparents. She hasn't talked about it much with me specifically, but her bio mom is deceased drugs, and her bio father's in prison. She's talked about it some with my husband, who was adopted by his aunt and uncle father, not in the picture, and mother died from cancer when he was 4. My stepmom has also talked with her at one point because she too was adopted by her grandparents for similar reasons. It just adds to our confusion. We have such a mix of types of family, regardless of blood. My mother-in-law has been laying it on thick that I need to smooth things over because family is family, and I'm the parent, so it's my responsibility to fix it. But damn, I'm not ready to talk to Adam edit. Sorry, my mother-in-law is deceased. One more thought from original poster in response to a longer comment. Thank you for your thoughtful comment. Adam will always be my first son, whether he thinks of me as his mom or not. I thought we had been pretty clear throughout the years that I love him regardless of what he thinks of me, and that my involvement extends to whatever he wants of me. And some fair non-negotiables. Mostly safety things. Chores his dad agreed on when I asked that kind of thing. I couldn't get in with my therapist this week, but I do have an appointment next week, and we will try to formulate a well-thought-out response back. I am certainly not a perfect person or parent, but I won't intentionally sabotage him further. I do love a good revenge story, but that's not it. When it comes to my kids, I've talked to the youngest 3, and they have reassured me that it's their choice whether or not they go. And I won't push them on it. I have been reminding them that he is still their brother, and it doesn't sound like him mostly for Charles. He is very outspoken and protective. Charles is supposed to meet with him this weekend, and I'm hoping we'll get some clearer answers from that. 5 days later. Thank you to everyone who responded to my post. Most of you were kind and offered good advice. I appreciate it. Before I give an update, I just want to answer a few frequently asked questions. I am not an affair partner. My husband did not cheat on his ex-wife with me. We met about a year after they divorced. She was already engaged. Not to current stepdad. Not that that really matters. Ben was at the dinner. He is autistic. I went into it more in some of my comments, but he was very upset. He doesn't understand what the argument was exactly about, but he was mostly upset at Adam for saying, I'm not their parent, and then at all the siblings for fighting with each other. Anyways, the update. The short is, if you guessed it was related to biomom, you were correct. I didn't want this to be the case. Adam rescheduled with Charles for Monday, citing Easter weekend, fair enough. He also texted my husband to let him know that him and Alice would be doing Easter with her parents. We expected that. At some point on Sunday, Ellie texted Alice. I am not sure what exactly was said, but it prompted Alice to spill everything that was going on with her parents. I have met them a few times, but they live a few hours away. They encouraged her and Adam to reach out to us to clear everything up. Monday, we dropped Ben off to Biomom's. He stayed an extra night for Easter fun. A few hours later, she began to blow up my husband's. Phone has been mentioned the fight. My husband answered one call in which she was screaming and promptly hung up. He texted her that the siblings argued everything is fine and that if Ben has any further questions, we will talk about when he's back with us. From some of the things she texted, we knew she was the root of all of this. Monday. Adam also met up with Charles, and he did come clean. Charles texted us to see if it was okay if they came over after, and we said, yes, I'm not gonna lie. Adam looked a mess. He immediately began crying and apologizing. The short and sweet is that he's been trying to mend bridges with Biomom. Their wedding isn't 60 people. It's blown up to about double that, and they have been struggling to figure out how to pay for it. At one of their visits, Alice let it slip, and Biomom jumped to help pay for things. It slowly snowballed from there, from small requests to big requests. I am not sure what the final nail in the coffin was, but it ended with Biomom requesting I not be there. Adam said it was easier to hurt me and risk Worldwide War III with his mom. Alice's parents were less than pleased to find out how they've been with the wedding shy budget, and even less so at Biomom's antics. They are trying to figure out how to start covering the payments Biomom has made. We've decided to help some with this. Adam also asked if we could meet again in a few days with Alice, and we said yes. There is still a lot of ground to cover for this to be close to mended. I am still hurt, but mostly I'm angry on behalf of my oldest son. Some comments. Somebody said, setting aside Adam's unfathomably cruelty and utter spinelessness for a second, what I want to know is what the hell did he think was going to happen when everyone found out she was an invited commenter? I am appalled at the lack of loyalty that Adam and Alice have to the woman who raised him. And to still extend invitations to original posters' extended family. But say that the wedding is for family? Only is just stupid. How did they think this was going to play out? Another commenter replied, I really, really wanted someone to ask this point, blank at the moment. Why are my mom, dad, stepmom, siblings, nibblings, etc. invited, but I'm not considered family? Explain to me in detail how my stepmom is your family, but I am not, someone said I don't know why. But the explanation of the Biomom being behind it all feels, I don't want to say unsatisfying because that's not the right word, but it's the closest thing that comes to mind, commenter. I thought Biomom was probably behind it because original poster said stepdad was still invited. If they didn't want her there, because she's not the real mom, then stepdad wouldn't be there either. And none of original poster's family would either. But she was specifically targeted. So Biomom being behind it makes sense. I didn't expect that Biomom got leverage through Adam and Alice doubling the number of guests and overspending.